Hi, my name is Robert Cowan. This is Visitacion Valley Community Unity. Want to thank you for listening in. Visitacion Valley Community Unity is a group of community leaders that have come together to give voice to Visitacion Valley residents. Considering the years of neglect and ignoring our community, we are determined to make a pathway for solutions for those that live in Visitacion Valley.
Thank you, David Canepa, for joining us today at Visitacion Valley Community Unity. Due to redistricting, Visitacion Valley, Excelsior, OMI, and Portola are now within the new congressional district. As San Franciscans, for the first time, we will be voting for a candidate that does not have a strong history advocating for our neighborhoods, which is why we want to take the time to get to know you, one of the candidates running for CD 15. Can you do us a favor, please, and introduce yourself and tell us how you will engage with San Francisco voters in the new CD 15?
Sure. Thank you so much, and I'm delighted to be here. My name is David Canepa. I'm on the Board of Supervisors of San Mateo County. I'm running for Congress. I think community engagement is critical, and one of the things that I want to do in relative to San Francisco, because this district goes from East Palo Alto all the way to portions of San Francisco. And one of the things that I was thinking about is really how do we make sure that we're able to provide access. One of the things I'm interested in doing is to create a satellite office in San Francisco, because San Franciscans' needs may be different than other parts of the county. And I think having a San Francisco office would really be able, and making sure that the office is diverse, whether it's people who are speaking Mandarin, whether it's Spanish speakers, whatever we can do to make sure that we're connecting with our constituents. I think that's going to be important. Now, you raised something that's critical. You had the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, as your representative, and now it is a freshman Congress member who's going to represent you. I'm certainly not Nancy Pelosi, nor is my opponent, but we do have to make sure as our office to make sure that we connect with our local representatives, we connect with community leaders, we connect with allies, because it is you who knows these communities. And so just want to make sure that we're present, that you understand that our office is here to serve you on multiple levels, and that's what we're committed to doing. And you know, you don't work for us, we work for you. And so we're really going to have to dig in and make sure that we earn our spot if elected. And a lot of you who are on this call are going to be the ones who guide us in making decisions that are best for all communities.
Great, thank you so much. So how will you communicate or share information to non-English speakers?
Well, look, one of the first things I did when I was elected to the Board of Supervisors, there was a huge gap in how the County of San Mateo was communicating. In my particular district, we have a huge, it's 67% Asian American, but in particular, when it came to the Chinese American community, we weren't really doing much as a county in terms of translations and in terms of outreach. I immediately, in concert with community members, community groups, and with a supervisor, we created a committee to address how we communicate, whether it's in Hindi, whether it's in Mandarin, whether it's in Tagalog, whether it's in Spanish. And I think that sort of template, so now when you go into our new county center, rather than just having monolingual English wayfarer signs, now those signs will be in multiple language. So if we want to bring everyone to the table, we have to make sure that we communicate in languages that are just not monolingual. In addition, the Board of Supervisors meetings now, we have translators. And so those translators open up, whether it's in Spanish, Mandarin, different languages, Hindi, really to make sure that we're able to communicate with everyone, because we want to make sure that everyone in terms of decision making is brought to the table. And those sort of efforts around language are vitally important.
Great. So as you know, climate change is on top of mind for everyone. How do you plan on addressing emerging preparedness, such as climate change, future pandemics, just kind of preparing for the next big thing?
Well, look, I mean, sea level rise is all around us, right? When you look at the wildfires, not only through the state of California, not even throughout the United States, but now you look what's happening, or what has happened in recent months in Europe. This needs to be really addressed. I think the Inflation Reduction Act and the billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, I think it's $312 billion, is really going to get us there. Yesterday, the governor announced, by 2025, it's an ambitious goal. It's audacious. I sit on the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, that they're not going to sell gas-powered cars. This is critically important because, as we know, the climate's changing, sea levels are rising, and I really think that in terms of climate change, we're really going to have to make sure that we address this, whether it's through investment in electric vehicle infrastructure, whether it's if people have the opportunity like we have to stay at home, to work, some of us, or whether it's working 2 or 3 days a week. The largest mobile source, and I sit on the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, is people driving their cars, electrifying transportation, all these sort of things, these investments, making sure that we deal with sea level rise, that we deal in such a way that there's protection from sea level rise through infrastructure. And so I think the Inflation Reduction Bill puts us in an incredible place where we're going to be able to leverage dollars and to create jobs, create green jobs, and that's critically important in light of what's happening around climate change.
Great. So another thing that our group was very concerned about is public safety. How will you plan on addressing this issue from a federal perspective?
Yeah, I think, look, we're all in this together, right? And so, I think when it comes to issues, I've dealt with a particular issue where we had a Chinese American woman who was brutally beaten in Daly City. And so what we were able to do on a county level, and I worked with, in concert with our district attorney and sheriff, is we created sort of what can we do to stop all forms of hate, and what can we do to make sure that we stop Asian hate. And so really making sure whether it's the funding at a federal level, one of the things I'd like to do is to create an anonymous hotline where people in the language that they choose, or whether it's in English, where they can report being discriminated or hate crimes. I know at the state level they've done that, but maybe at the federal level we could look at that too. But again, we're all in this together. We need to make sure that we're able to protect people. We have to make sure in terms of quality of life. I do believe that in life people have their ups and downs. So whether it's mental health, whether it's substance abuse, we need to make sure that we provide them with the most ambitious wraparound services that we can, and to bring people, if they're having difficulties in their life. Not everyone needs to go to jail. Let me say that. Not everyone needs to go to jail. But if we can do it in a compassionate way that really rehabilitates people and gets them back with their life, I'm supportive of that. And we just need to make sure that we do it in such a way. And there are people who need to be held accountable. And those people should be held accountable as well. And so any sort of protection of our communities and making sure that they're safe, I'm supportive of. And then in complementing that, making sure that we also have the ability to rehabilitate those who need help as well.
Great. So I think we can just ask you now to close with maybe 2 minutes, just kind of anything else you might want to share with us.
Yeah, look, I mean, just thank you again so much. It's an incredible opportunity. I think my candidacy represents several things. I think the first is really making sure, and I think that's where my work has really been centered on, is how do we help uplift people, whether it's community college for all, which I've championed, whether it's making sure when it comes to climate, looking at ways in which we can fund it as a county to make sure that we create safe spaces, whether it's bayside, shoreside, or whether it's around fires through mitigation efforts. I think one of the things that I'm proud of is really what we've done around housing. When I was in office about 3 or 4 years ago, I'm still in office. What we're able to do for our veterans, I take great pride in this, is we were able to create a veterans home in Colma in concert with the VA to really make sure that those who served our country weren't left behind, but really, in fact, were able to have a home and services. And so really looking at these issues around housing, around public safety, really making sure that we have a progressive agenda in dealing with these issues and moving them forward. That's why I'm running for Congress.
Thank you so much.